Hi, this is Beverly. Welcome to Beverly's House of Poetry, a bell of poems, if you will. I'm here today to make you an offer, and that offer is I can provide you with personalized poems, romantic poems, spiritual poems, any type of poems that you may need. Now, unfortunately, you may have a loved one that has passed over to the other side, and you want to remember them. I can help you do that. You give me their name, you give me something about them, and I'll make it personalized for you to remember them always. You may have someone in the hospital that's sick, and I can help you there too. Give me their name or something about them. I'll make it personal. Something that they can relate to, whether it be spiritual, joking, whatever. For the romantic side of you, you know I have something for you too. And by the way, for the soul in you, baby, I have the best. What makes mine the best? Because it is undoubtedly better than the rest. Now, for $29.99, I will also include, if you like, I will give you a frame that I will ship it to you in a frame and the color that you may want it printed on. Only thing I need from you is for you to provide me your name, your phone number, and how many orders you want. And I'm going to give you a sample of some of this poetry that I'm talking about, and I'm positively sure you will be pleased. Let's start here. Say you have a loved one that's going on to the other side. This is just a sample. This is entitled, Until We Meet Again. My children, I write you this letter for something has happened today. The sky has opened wide and 4 angels have taken me away. I ask that you take care of your mother, as I have always done. Please take care of my dear for me, for she and I are one. Please tell her that I love her, and we will never be apart. For as long as she lives and loves, I will forever be in her heart. I need you, children. I need you to know I've just gone on to glory, and heaven is my home. I will see you soon. I will see you again. This is a new beginning. This is not the end. As I walk the streets of gold, Jesus' face I see. He has given me new life. He has given me eternity. And oh, those birds you heard chirp, those birds you saw above, they were sent to you, my family, as a token of my love. Take comfort in you knowing this is not by far the end. Our separation only temporary until we meet again. Do you like that? Okay. I got something else for you. Now, this is for women of color, because this is for us sisters. I know we deserve this. And I can send you a copy of this. Let me give it to you. Women of color. Black, brown, tan, yellow, and mocha. Chocolate, vanilla, bronze, and smoker. In one pot we were made, women of color in different shades. Strong, proud, intelligent, and smart. Challenging, loyal, yet pure at heart. Women of color in different shades. Women of color is how we were made. Women of color like a peacock's tail. Lilacs and blossoms, how we smell. We are soft and sweet and full of charm. We feed from our breast. We embrace with our arms. Women of color are like diamonds, pearls, and jade. Integrity, intelligence, and intellect is how we were made, women of color, in different shades. And that can be yours for $29.99. Now, I have more to offer, but please give me your response. Tell me how you like that. Give me a little bit of feedback. My address is beverly.bell14 at yahoo.com. Again, beverly.bell14 at yahoo.com. You leave your name, your number, let me call you, see how many copies, see what you need, see what you want. And for you young at heart, and I know we sure have one or two deadbeat dads. Well, young girls, I got something for you too. I look forward to hearing from you. Again, you're welcome anytime in Beverly's House of Poetry, a Bell of Poems. Thank you.